that's the key thing that really resonated, like I said earlier. When I first learned the truth, I was perplexed at how so many people in different ideologies, I was just perplexed or confused coming out of the Christian church and learning I was Israelites. And what the Most High brought to light for me was the fact that the majority of the people in the earth hates the Bible. The Jewish people don't want to deal with the Bible correctly. The Christians don't want to deal with the Bible as it is written. The Muslims doesn't want the Bible. You got witches, warlocks, pagans. Everyone have a problem with the Bible. And at the same time, they have a problem with us. Right? So that in of itself lends to what? A connection. Do they have a problem with the Bible because the people in the Bible are us? Right? And see, I've been all over the world. We discourse with many people, and I've come to the conclusion that we must be the people. Because even with a Jewish person who claimed to be, even though he said he was a convert, he was a white Christian family who converted to Judaism, to let you know that's a religion, not an ethnicity. Right? That's a religion. What we're dealing with isn't a religion. The Bible is our history book, right?
Yes, sir.
So that in of itself was, you know, that was a serious, impactful, I would say, epiphany for me. When I started realizing that the majority of the world hates the Bible. Even Christians. They hate the Bible. They always try to deal with it sideways instead of as it is written. Muslims, they hate the Bible. Jewish people don't respect the Bible. And I'm like, hold up. If Satan was ruling this world, the one book that could expose his evil would be the book the world hates. Right? I need y'all to think about that. The one book that if Satan ruled the world, if he was the God of this world, the one book the world would hate would be that book. Mm-hmm. The book that can expose him and the Gentiles who worship him. The conscious community, they hate Christ. They hate the Bible. Like, well, hold up, man. Why? Muslims? And I think that was the key impactful thing as a young man growing up in the knowledge that really solidified me concerning this truth. Oh, the secret sauce the whole time was keeping us from ever realizing that we were the people of the book. Because as long as we thought we were Gentiles, even Christians, Muslims, no matter what your religion, they would all claim that they had respect for the book when I was in ignorance. They would all claim that they had respect for the Bible. When we're ignorant to it, they'll say, yeah, the Bible, it's a lot of knowledge in the Bible. It's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of different knowledges, and the Bible is one of them. But when we started staking claim to being Israel, doesn't it seem like everyone changed on you now? When I was growing up in the Christian church and was dealing with this Bible, no one had a problem with this Bible, folks, on the surface. Only when we began to say that we were the people of the Bible, even our own family began to have a problem with the book. And I'm like, that's it. I know we are the people. Because if the Jewish people were the people, they wouldn't need the oral law to go into the Talmud to break down a book. Well, wait, Let me speak to my rabbi. He's going to tell me what I can plainly read for myself. I need y'all to think about that. If they were the people that would just open it up like we do, go to Deuteronomy 28 and show the curses of what would happen to God's people. They wouldn't need an oral law to prove anything. If they were the people. See? And this is what they fear. What they fear, brothers and sisters, if we come back to the book, we fall under the protection of the God. Our God, who gave the Gentiles their power. Now, whatever the Gentiles would like to do against us, they would have to do it through permission. See? There's rules for the spiritual engagement. These Gentiles just can't do what they want to do against us. If they could, they would have been gotten rid of us already. So there is a spiritual agreement where the Gentiles know there's lines they can't cross in fear of what our God will do to them. But what they can do is trick us into sinning and incentivize us breaking the law. And by doing so, it leaves our people exposed. And that's where the Christian church is complicit. It was the Christian church's responsibility to keep us under Christ's protection by upholding the law and not conforming to this world's ideology like we see in present day Christianity. When they went into the prosperity movement, when they turned the church from fire and brimstone and fear of God, now look what we have. Our communities have been decimated and all the Gentiles are behind it. What say you before I open up the lines here?
I mean, you covered it, Elder. I mean, we can go to the lines.
We go to even when I went to Peace FM. I went to Peace FM when I was in the UK, and you had this guy, Raymond Bell. From the whole radio station was being ran by the conscious community. Gaja was there. Here it is. I'm coming in there every week with this Bible, slaying every ideology in England. The Egyptologists couldn't do anything. None of them couldn't do anything.
Nuwaubu.
And I'm saying, well, hold up. How is it that these people have been incentivized to have a radio station for black empowerment? Lying to the people that the conscious community had a radio station to bring people together under black empowerment. But yet I'm coming with the solution. And the solution is unity under the God who've cursed us. And everyone in the radio station had a problem with us. Even Gaja initially. No, we can't read the Bible. I'm like, listen, this is a ball of confusion up in here. I'm not going to be up in here just talking and just talking like you guys are talking with our people going nowhere. If this is the black empowerment radio stations and y'all asking for solutions, I'm bringing the solutions according to God. God just started lining them all up. He had Christians, Egyptologists. He had Muslims. He was just lining them up from week to week. 2 different rabbis. And no one could contend against the word of God. And then that's when I realized these radio stations, they have conspired against us. They're not for our cause. These people are on the radio stations to undermine our progress, to give us the illusion of progress. Just because it's black doesn't mean it's right. Or, guess what? The powers that be wouldn't allow them access to the radio if it could actually help our people. They wouldn't have given them a microphone. The second time that I was on the broadcast with a rabbi in England, the ADL and the JDL called from the United States into Peace FM and said, listen, either you cancel the Israelites that are on the broadcast with Gaja in them, or we're going to revoke the whole radio station. They didn't say that about the conscious community. And all I did was bring history, folks. History, facts, the Bible. I didn't hate nobody. I didn't say anything negative about hurting anyone. The doctrine we teach is all inclusive. I was just stating facts that people could research. And they told the radio station, the ADL and JDL from the United States called into England and shut it down. Now, if that don't tell you something about these black faces they putting up in front of us for radio, I don't know what will. So I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing about black empowerment when the ADL and JDL can call in and tell y'all to shut up. And instead of standing for your people so that they can learn and come from up under oppression, you would rather do what? Keep the microphone open and spew the lies that have already been utterly decimated within a couple of months with me coming there. Huh? And this guy was a Nuwaubu running the radio station and was scared to tell anyone that he was from that he was dealing with Dr. York. I'm like, you know what? You got the right one right here. Hold on. Listen to this.
I have a long history with the Nuwaubu understanding. Where it originated, I was only 2 cities away from it, and it was big in Philadelphia. Let me give you the understanding. First, we're talking about Malachi York, who's in prison right now.
True.
Right. Now, Malachi York first started off in the Nation of Islam. You know that?
Yes, true.
Okay.
And when it first started off, Paul.
I'm not going to go to his birth. I'm talking about the keynote parts where both of us can understand. I'm sure there's things you've studied about him that's more personable. But I'm going to go to the points where all of us and everyone that's listening can follow these points. Is that okay?
That's true.
Okay. He was in the Nation of Islam during the time that Malcolm and them was in there. You know that?
No.
Right after the period of Malcolm, he was in there under Farrakhan and all that. All right? Now, he was up in New York. He was singing with the group. He was a stand-in singer for the group Blue Magic for a while. You know that?
Yeah, true.
Right? Okay. He was first under Islam, and then he morphed into what you would call the Nubian Islamic Hebrews. That came on the scene around the late 80s, early 90s. Right? Then he came up with this book called the Holy Scriptures. All right? Now, what he did was he integrated Islam, which is the base religion. That's his base religion, Islam. And he integrated that with Nubian, which is Egyptology, along with Hebrews, because there was a big Hebrew awakening going on in the United States. He wanted to grab a little bit of those people.
True.
And then he also made his own book, or what I would call his own Bible, called the Holy Tablet.
True.
Now, mind you, he had a place on 52nd Street right down in Philadelphia. And in this place, you would go into this place and he would sit you in a room. And it's this dark room you have to go into. And I know because I've been there. Thank you. And in this room, it's holographs, and you have to look at all these different pictures. And then you might ask, well, who are these pictures? Who are these people? Come to find out, all these pictures are people whom they call the prophets of old. And then we found out that his artists made different renditions of him and called him all the prophets since Adam. That's him in all those pictures. All right? That's actually Malachi York.
Now, you know what's deep about this? I'm going to tell you what's deep about this. I think this was a defining moment for Gotcha because I never went up into their office before. And Gotcha said upstairs was all these pictures in this guy's private office. And he know I never went into the private office. So Gotcha was sitting there looking. He was on the other side of the glass still trying to figure out this. So at this point, Gotcha is fully engaged to figure out why did this guy hide what this brother is saying from the United States from me? Right? It was to a point where they wanted to get rid of Gotcha because they thought Gotcha showed me the pictures that were in the room. Now, this is how deep the Most High is. I'm on the other side of the earth right now. And the only thing I'm doing is breaking down what I know. And slowly but surely, the whole radio station is coming unraveled.
Then he said that the Spirit is calling him to Georgia.
In all which pictures
I'm talking about in his little breakdown books of the prophets, where you would have those illuminate black and white, and it looks like it says Adam. Even it says it in his holy tablets too. You will see the different prophets. Every image is him, and I know that for a fact. Okay. Another thing, when you go down into Georgia, because he went down to Georgia because he says that the gravitational pull of the earth was in this certain area and told him to go build some pyramids. In this place where in Georgia, he had his own pyramids and his own little like small black amusement park where you would go cash in your money and you would get back money with his face on it. You couldn't spend American money within his compound.
Choo-choo.
Okay? So I know a lot of people, Erykah Badu, the Root, and different people from Philadelphia who have visited that place. Okay?
And myself.
Now, are you familiar with his little friends, the Duanis?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Duanis are Dr. York's little friends. You know that.
Go on.
I'm not.
Now he don't want anyone to know out there. This is the guy who's the program director of the radio station over in the UK, folks. And he didn't want nobody to actually know that Dr. York talking about he has some little friends that appear out of nowhere called the Duanis, who gives him guidance from the spiritual realm. Well, he can call them Duanis. I know they're demons. See? So these are the sorcerers they have on the radio for what? For black empowerment. That's keeping our people confused. So to why the other nations, like Jewish people or the controllers of radio and all that, they don't care if these black conscious people on the radio. Because they know it's keeping our people confused under sorcery.
I'm asking you, do you know that?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
No, you don't want to say it.
No, you see, first, wait. Okay, go on.
Let me finish saying it because I'm going to round this up.
See, but they'll try to make us and try to shame us for having a Bible. See that? They'll try to make it seem, are you a joke? That's the white man, all this stuff. And they don't let you know all the little weird crafts and all the weird stuff they believe in behind closed doors. So we blew the roof off of this. Don't come after our book. When your teachers running around with some little men with hair on them that they call Duanis.
Duanis is Dr. York's little friends. Okay? They're the guys that talk to him, and also in the book it tells us that we are from the planet Risk. Also, there's philosophies from the book.
Wait.
No. Let me finish.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
Let me finish. Thank you. Listen, I know it's fact because I've been there. I know where it originated, right where I live, brother. So you are second and third hand.
Okay.
So let me tell you what it is. Okay. All right? So on top of that, brother, on top of that, now check this out. We have brothers that was eating grass And I'm like, brother, what are you eating grass for? And when I say grass, I'm not talking about marijuana or cannabis. He was eating grass that you cut outside. And then he showed me information on how we were first from the reptilians, that we were green and that we rusted and turned brown. Now, my question to you, do you believe that we were green?
Wait. That's, you see, now you told the story. You told the whole of the story. And in telling the whole of the story, that story never came from me. You know what I'm saying? That came from you, and now you interpret, and that was right.
Brother, I'm asking you a question. Brother, I'm asking you a question.
Yo, you see,
the question I'm asking you, brother, were we green?
You see,
and are we from reptilians? I'm just asking you a question.
You see, no. If I have to answer the question, are we green? You know what I'm saying? I have to go back to the walls of Egypt, because the walls.
Brother,
you see,
hold up now. Hold up, Ramon. We got to go back to the walls of Egypt. We got to go back to the. See, this is the madness they want our people listening to, folks. Sitting up, getting zooted out of our minds with marijuana, thinking we deep, and they believe. They sit there telling, man, you know, I think I'm turning back my regular color. Tell me, man, am I turning green? Let me tell you, the powers that be have no problem with the conscious community, folks. He said, let's go back to the walls of Egypt. He didn't realize that I was at the pyramids in Egypt. You got the wrong guy. Okay? All right?
Rusted and turned brown. Now, my question to you, do you believe that we were green?
Wait. That's, you see, now you talk.
He do believe it, but now here's a diversion tactic. Right? For years, he was over this radio station and was telling people that what? Nuwaubians were the way towards fixing the issues amongst our communities.
Told the story. You told the whole of the story. And in telling the whole of the story, that story never came from me. You know what I'm saying? That came from you, and now you interpret, and that was right.
Brother, I'm asking you a question. Brother, I'm asking you a question.
Yo, you see,
the question I'm asking you, brother, were we green?
You see,
and are we from reptilians? I'm just asking you a question.
You see, no. If I have to answer the question, are we green? You know what I'm saying? I have to go back to the walls of Egypt, because the walls.
Brother,
you see, asking the question.
Brother, the scriptures say, "Let your yea
Are you green right now? Are you green right now?
Listen, brother, I'm asking you. Listen to my question.
Okay, listen to you.
Were we from the reptilians? Were we at one point in the earth green?
Our ancestors were on the journey.
Okay, now our ancestors.
Hold up now. We got it. Yeah. Our ancestors on the journey was green. Now, I'm saying, according to God, that our ancestors are the holy prophets leading way back to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, up to Christ. Now, would you rather believe what we're teaching out of the Bible or what he's bringing? Now you see why it's important to know we're Israelites, folks? Because we got other people teaching our ancestors were reptilians. See? Now, I'm able to pull out a lot of what they, because I've been debating these guys since the 90s. I've been inside one of their original little shops. They made a little sanctuary. So you can't hide from me. And you know how long it took me to pull this out of this guy that was over this radio station? And guess what, folks? He still haven't recovered from this conversation.
Wasn't he late to the? Y'all were trying to get it going the whole night, and he was like late or something.
He was late,
and so it was like it was his turn. He was next man up, but he almost like he intentionally made himself late because he didn't want to deal with this.
Exactly. It took me a long time to get him to actually admit that he believed that our ancestors were green. This is getting good. Hold on.
Have to go back to the walls of Egypt because the walls.
Brother,
brother. You see, asking the question.
Brother, the scriptures say, "Let your
Are you green? Are you green right now? Are you green right now?
Listen, brother, I'm asking you. Listen to my question.
Okay, listen to you.
Were we from the reptilians? Were we at one point in the earth green?
Our ancestors were on the journey.
Okay, now our ancestors on the journey in the beginning.
Now, if you are Jews, right, white Jews, you have no problem with him saying that our people, ancestors were green reptilians. Let me tell you, now you're so far away from being Israel that, you pose no threat to what they're dealing with. If they're like, hold up, you believe you're green? Would you like to host a radio show? Yep. Your ancestors was who? I'll tell you what. Come on in. We got a public access radio station that you can broadcast as many black people as you want.
Mm-hmm. With full funding.
Right? And bring in some Egyptologists. We can tell you we found some black bones somewhere. Make everyone believe Africa, 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 so it's no sweat off our brow to just take the name of Israel, which, guess what? The Torah tells us that all the promises and covenants go to the Jews. So I tell you what, I don't know what your God said he would give green reptilians, but here's a microphone while we get your land. How about that?
Came from the planet Risk and was green. Is that correct?
No.
So what ancestors was green?
You see now if we go and get into the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Now we have to go over the whole of the conversation.
No,
and you know what? You know, and I'm gonna tell you what's tough about this. At the end of it, brothers and sisters, guess who's the bad guy? At the end of it, we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys, folks. Here it is. We're bringing logical truth, bringing us back to the knowledge of our God, which leads to kingdom. And us exposing this wicked deception that they've allowed to totally infect our neighborhoods in the conscious community. At the end of the day, I'm the bad guy. Not the guys who's in our communities trying to tell our children that we are green reptilians from the planet Risk. See? And one day, we were dealing with a Muslim. I'm going to listen to that. I hope God will give me that audio. We're going to listen to that on Patreon. I broke down this Muslim one day at Peace FM. Came outside of Peace FM, and there were cabs early in the morning, folks, about 4 in the morning, lined up the street waiting for me to come outside. Want to know who is this guy in this radio station? Arabs. They was like, hold up. If y'all keep letting this guy come on, it's going to blow our grift. This guy's disturbing our grift in the neighborhoods. Because when we come in the neighborhoods, black people honor us as imams, as the spiritual authority. So they bring in the religion as a point of what? Of respect that they could get from the citizens or from our people in the neighborhood, which leads to money. So when I start breaking down their religion, then the people in the inner cities of Manchester, England, London, they look at these people like, well, hold up. Are y'all come here to give us some spiritual enlightenment that can better our lives? Or are you using your religion as a grift to undermine and to con us? See? And it was a brother defending Islam there. And I totally said, brother, why is you defending Islam? You know the history of Islam when it comes to our people? They enslaved us before the white man enslaved us. You hear about the over 500 men, women, and children got slaughtered at Medina who were Israelites, our people, because we didn't want to convert to Islam. Like, brother, why are you defending Muslims or Arabs? They're here to take a grift off of you. And guess what? Guess what the Muslims, when they came into the radio station, guess what they said? And this brother was defending their religion. He looked right at me, the Arabs, and said, this guy is not credible. If you want to deal with a Muslim, you got to talk to us. Totally just dismissed him like he was dirt. And I looked right at the brother. I'm like, so you're going to defend, you're going to go against your book, which is the Bible, and God's people for them? And they just discard you like dirt. And you know what? I was like, listen, you can move them out of the way. I've been waiting for you anyway. Let's do it. Let's do it. We can move, you come on in. But they looked right at him at the table because they felt that he wasn't qualified to defend Islam. I'm like, brother, you're not qualified you're not qualified to defend Islam. Islam is a false religion. It was a time Islam didn't exist. We taught your prophet. Okay? And that's history. We taught your prophet. Okay? There was a time Islam didn't exist. What do you mean? Islam didn't exist. It's a way of life. When was Muhammad born? Huh? Almost 500 years after Christ? 600 years after Christ? Well, there were Jews and Christians in the belief system of the Torah in the New Testament before Muhammad was born. So if there's no Muhammad almost 600 years after Christ, then there's no Islam. What are you talking about here? They discarded the brother like he was dirt and said, he don't represent us. If you want real Muslims, talk to us. I'm like, come on in. Left the radio station, brothers and sisters. Cabs around, they lined around a corner. I'm like, these guys ain't working? No, they said, nah. They wanted to see that guy that was on the radio show. Because what I was doing, I was destroying their grift. Then come to find out, I'm going to tell you, people were calling, sending messages and all of that. And the radio station would hide all of the information that should have came to us to help the people in the neighborhood. And they were conspiring together so that the people couldn't get the information they needed and connect them with the church. Huh? Let's go back to the guy who says his ancestors was green.
I'm gone. You see, because you're bringing
this point, brother. Listen to me. I'm bringing this point because this is why you couldn't tell the people who your ancestors were. You knew who they were.
Yes, for real.
No, hold on. You knew who they were.
Yes,
but what you didn't know is that it would come out of your mouth and I would know exactly the origin of your religion.
No, but you see, now the very fact that it came out of your mouth, you know what I'm saying, and not my own. Now it has to force a conversation. That's what happens.
You just said that our ancestors was green at one point.
Okay then.
You said that.
Okay then. That's what I said. I said that. Yeah, let's say I said that. It's on record, and I said that. Now,
okay, so the only thing I'm asking you is who is these green people?
Okay.
Now, if you're telling me that I'm from these ancestors, I need to know who my ancestors were.
Okay.
So I'm going to be quiet, and you tell me about my ancestors who are green.
Okay.
I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead.
Okay. And you see, and that's the game you like to play. You know what I'm saying? And I told you over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind having a conversation. And all the points have been recorded. Even down to
there's doors opening and everything over there. Listen, then he's going to say, that's the games I like to play. But you're going to come against us in the Bible who would say our ancestors was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're going to ridicule us for going into this book. Now you see why they hate the Bible so much, folks? These people are pagans, they're sorcerers, they deal with witchcraft and all that. But guess what? If they present it that way from the, as a front, they know the majority of people, our people who are Christians, wouldn't support them. See? So they learn to deceive and to play on our naivety, right? Feigning black power. But truly, these people are evil, demented witches and warlocks that are set over us to keep our people in darkness in the conscious community.
Duanis. When we go and check out Aaron E. Bride, you know what I'm saying? When we go and check out the Nazis, when we go and check out our story in history about things what has been recorded over the years on internet and tell lies visually, we can go and access the information and bring all that information to the forefront. We can even talk about the terrorists you never spoke about, all the terrorists. You know what I'm saying? We could go and talk about those beings we were talking about on the inner earth. We can go and talk about all of that. I don't
Brother, I'm just asking you about the green ancestors. Can you stay on the point for a second, please?
Yeah, but you're going to have to stay in your lane as well.
No, because he's going to talk around. He's going to do this on purpose.
I know, but but we know that. We know.
He's going to talk around the point. That's what he do.
I know, but hold on.
So I need you to just skip all that and tell me who are these green people? What are their names?
But Brother Rawchaa, what I'm saying here, what I'm suggesting is that when we spoke about having lanes, let's allow him his lane and see if he swerves out.
If he talk around for the next hour, we're not going to get to the point.
I won't allow an hour.
Okay, so I'm going to find out who these green people are.
Yeah.
My ancestors. But, come on now.
I don't want to hear that as well. I don't really want to hear that. That is, this is no conversing. What do you think, man? I think no, we get into somewhere.
Well, no, but Ray's very clearly, not very clearly. Ray's obviously not wanting to deal with this issue.
Guys just said he think we're getting somewhere.
Because of how other people will hear it and receive it and think.
Yo, no apology, man. No apology. The truth, no apology to it, yo. No apology, no compromise. Who want to hear and who want to believe? No, I'm not buying into that.
No, but Gaja, remember, this is the same man who talks about truth.
I think God just started to come around when he started seeing this one.
Getting fed up.
God just saying, well, hold up, man. I need to hear this. And to show you how the Most High worked, the Most High pulled him out of that. He was baptized and all of that. Still was going through the transformation of actually becoming who the Most High needed him to be to actually finish the work. But I'll tell you this, he was pulled from an unbeliever to now helping many souls find the truth. And I remember those nights, man. I remember those nights. I remember you was up all night. We had Gabar, New York. He was up all night. Let me tell you, because it was like, what, a 5 or 6 hour difference. So if I stayed on the broadcast to 3, 4 in the morning, it had to be daylight where y'all at 7, 8 in the morning listening.
You were on till 4 in the morning, or
some of those in the evening. Sometimes I stayed until 4, 5 in the morning. Some of these are 5 hours long.
So, yeah, yep.
Because I would start at 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock.
So yeah, okay. It was late.
Man, we have to come back and listen to some of these. I mean, it's going to be a good listen because I really wanted to understand where everyone were in their journey during these particular broadcasts, which were so impactful that led to where this ministry is, right? The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one
No religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.